Hey there guys, I'm standing with something really exciting for the better player here today, the brand new Mizuno JPX 900 Tour. Now, you might be going, hang on, off the bat you're saying this is for the better player, how can you make that judgment call? Well, have a look at this puppy here. I mean, you've got a very thin sole. We have a look at the other two JPX 900 irons. This is the Tour that we're busy discussing. That's the forged, and that's the standard 900. You can see how it progressively gets bigger throughout the series, but more importantly, why the Tour has the thinner sole, that gives you better turf interaction, makes the club glide through the turf a little bit better, also allows the better player who wants to shape the golf ball out of a bad lie a lot easier. Something with a bigger sole, not going to allow you to do that. It's going to want to get the ball up in the air, give you maximum stability and take away that workability factor. Extremely thin top line, minimal offset here, guys. I can't tell you there's no offset because there actually is. All golf clubs do have a certain amount of offset, but the better player generally is the guy that hits it right to left. The better player is also generally the guy that you might hear talk about, take the left side out of play. Don't know how many of you have heard that term, but that just basically means they don't want to turn it over quickly. They don't want to lose it left. Additional offset helps the guys square up the club face. A better player doesn't need that assistance. Let's talk about the thinner top line. Now, as a better player myself, I can tell you when I put something like this down, seeing that thinner top line, it immediately tells me this is workable. I can shape it. I can do whatever I want with it. You take something that's a little bit more bulky, I immediately get the sense that this is stable. This is not going to allow me much workability, but it is going to give me lots of forgiveness. The better players out there most definitely would appeal, or visually it would be more appealing to see something with a little bit of a thinner top line. Short blade length. This is definitely aimed at the guys wanting to work the golf ball around the golf course, hitting the fades, hitting the draws, hitting it high, hitting it low. But obviously workability without any form of forgiveness, well, that wouldn't make any of us happy, now would it? Let me tell you a little bit about the features and benefits, and you might be surprised. You should see there GF forged 1025E, grain flow forging from 1025 carbon milled steel. That gives Mizuno their feel. I mean, anybody you speak to that's hit a Mizuno iron, a forged version specifically, will talk about how soft they feel, that buttery feel, that amazing feedback that the club gives you. And that is grain flow forging in its purest form. You'll see for a blade or a semi-bladed club, there's quite a bit going on in the back of this golf club. Now, if you look at this Tour label over here, and you kind of get a sense for there's a bar running just below it, and you follow my finger around there, you'll start getting the sense that, hang on, that's almost a perimeter weighting in a semi-blade, which it actually is. It's called power frame technology. Now, this is quite exciting. This allows Mizuno the ability to give you, the player, more forgiveness by actually implementing something like a perimeter weighting, even though it's not. Effectively, it does increase your sweet spot. By making the sweet spot a little bit bigger, you miss it at slightly heely or slightly toey, it's not going to affect your flight nearly as badly as a club that does not feature this. Really, really cool technology. Moving on to something not in the head, but more specifically the engine of the golf club, the shaft. This for me is quite exciting for our market. The components that Mizuno have chosen to use, they're utilizing the new dynamic gold AMT shaft, AMT meaning ascending mass technology. That's being paired with a Golf Pride multi-compound grip, which is half cord and quite soft at the bottom. I think most of you should have seen these by now. Really, really high quality grip. But now, moving right back to that shaft, that AMT, I've just given you a minute for that to settle in. What does that mean, ascending mass technology? Now, think about this. Traditional shafts have always been the same weight across the set, from your 3-iron to your pitching wedge. What ascending mass does, and this is quite cool, they give you slightly lighter shafts in your longer irons, which helps you launch the ball a little bit easier. And they give you slightly heavier shafts in your mid irons, varying obviously from 3-iron up to pitching wedge. Because let's be honest, you don't want to balloon a pitching wedge or a 9-iron. You want that nice, piercing, controlled flight, hitting at a specific distance, stopping the golf ball. Whereas in the long irons, most of us, even me, off a single-figure handicap, I could do with some help getting it up in the air. The AMT shaft provides this for you across the entire set, from the 3-iron up until the wedge. It really, really is good. In our testing, we found it to actually increase the consistency of flight, something we've come to understand Mizuno does very well, but the shaft just pairs with this head even better. Well, now I've given you all the information. I'm going to carry on hitting this beautiful product. I'll catch you all next time.